Gomez had been a long way off first, but there was nobody at first base to tag him. Hott pulled up, stepped back to the grass at third. Whitehead pulled up on the baseline at second. There's an attempted bunt, which is fouled back onto the screen. 1-1. Frank Rossetti, with a high, piercing voice, can be heard from short, regardless of the size of the crowd. Up there, hitting right-handed. Counts 1-1. Mancuso calls for time, walks out to the mound, talking to Hubble. And now both men of the Giant battery have their caps off, and both are rubbing the beads of perspiration off of their faces. Mancuso, with a great big handkerchief, now he stuffed it back in his pocket, comes stumping stolidly back of the plate. Swarthy little Gus Mancuso. There's been a lot more to the Giant pitching than most people realize the last few years. Defense pulled up on the infield. Outfield, usual depth and around toward left. Rossetti up, the count's 1-1, nobody out. Gomez off first. Hott pitches. There's another attempted bunt, and it's foul back. Strike two. Hub's come right in with these last two pitches. Rossetti has not been able to lay them down. 1-2. Nobody out. On deck to hit after Rossetti is Roth. Hub's naturally going to be trying to throw a double play ball right now. There's been one double play in the ball game. That was hit into by Mancuso as he got credit for batting in the one run so far of the struggle in the fifth inning. The runners on first and third. Scores 1-0, the Giants. Ball game here at Yankee Stadium. Sort of a cloudy, smoky afternoon. Rossetti waiting now behind 1-2. Hott pitches. Rossetti swings. It's a line drive hit out into left field. It's a base hit. Joe Moore takes it on the first bounce. Gomez holds at second. A sharp single for Rossetti into left field. A long single. And I imagine the Giants wish now that Rossetti hadn't fouled off those two pitches when he was trying to bunt. Hubble, after getting 14 straight Yankees, walked Gomez. The second pass he's given up. Walked Gomez first up in the last of this sixth inning. And Rossetti, after vainly trying twice to sacrifice, swung on a 1-2 pitch and hit a clean line drive single to left. That's the second hit off Hubble. And now the tying run is at second and nobody is out, and the batter is Red Roth. The Giant defense is pulled in, absolutely certain that there's going to be a bunt. Roth takes high outside. Mancuso throws to second, and Gomez is safe as the ball gets away from Bartell. Mancuso has Gomez picked off second base, but his throw gets away from shortstop Bartell. And Gomez slides back in and is safe. He was absolutely caught off second base. A pitch out coming down to Roth. Outside for ball one. Mancuso throwing to the third base corner of second. And Gomez cleanly caught off. And it is an error on the play for Bartell. The first error of the series. Bartell letting Mancuso's throw get away when Gomez was put cleanly off second. Error for Bartell. And Gomez remains at second base. Roth, a left-hand hitter, standing close to him, back of the plate. Hott pitches. Roth takes high outside. Mancuso threatens to go down to second, but this time Gomez is glued to the bag. He learned his lesson the easy way this time. And we're having excitement here in the last of the sixth as the Yankees are threatening to rise into their muchly vaunted power and strength. Roth up, DiMaggio on deck. Hott pitches inside for ball three, and Roth is ahead. Hubble is behind with his control. This New York crowd at the moment seems to be a Yankee crowd, judging from the way they are applauding these balls that Hubble is missing the plate with to Red Roth, the Yankee third baseman. Nobody out last of the sixth. Rossetti is at first. Gomez is at second. Roth up there. 3-0. Up comes in, and Roth takes strike one call. Roth up there, wiggling and dancing, much as a barefooted dancer on the sand of the Sahara at high noon, trying to disconcert Hub and make him miss his target. Hubble in the pitcher's position, throwing out of the shoulder. There's a bunt foul. Back out third. 3-1 pitch. It was an attempted bunt. It was fouled off. Now it's 3-2. Hub walks around back of that mound. So this was just batting practice. I think that's one of his greatest assets. The man is never unnerved. I think the way Hubble pitches, especially in times of stress in baseball, is a good lesson for most of us in the everyday world. He just very quietly keeps his chin out and keeps going as best he knows how. 3-2. Runners lead off first and second. Swung on, fouled, right over into the Yankee dugout. Still 3-2. The pace is rather slow. The Giants become thinkers. In a clutch, they figure out everything they're going to do, and they're certain that everybody on the ball club knows exactly what the defensive move will be. Drawing off that left hand of his, throws away the rosin bag, steps up onto the rubber, shrugs his shoulders, takes a look at those runners, now looks down, takes the sign from Mancuso, who's staying in his crouch. Roth crouching, a left-hand hitter over the plate. Hub pitches. There's a high foul coming up and back. Mancuso coming back, cannot get it. It lands just back on the screen. Still 3-2. Still the old blood pressure keeps pounding away up there at a baseball high for excitement. The Giants drew first blood this afternoon. The only blood so far that's been let. They got a run in the 5th inning. They're leading by that margin, 1-0. However, here in the last of the 6th, a walk, a single, and then an error allows Yankees to be at first and second and nobody off. The 3-2 count is to Red Roth. Hub looks around. Gomez leads off second. Rossetti comes down off first. Hub pitches 3-2. There, stuffs it out into left center field. It's a hit. Gomez holds up at third base, and the bases are loaded. A single to left center field. And the bases are full and nobody out in the last of the 6th. And now, the dynamiters, DiMaggio, Gehrig, and Dickey is the program. Down in the Giant bullpen, one of the relief pitchers is being warmed up, but he is completely hidden from view, so we can't tell you who it is. You cannot see in either team's bullpen here at the stadium the potential relief pitchers as they groom themselves to get ready. A single into left center field by Roth. Advances Rossetti to second base and Gomez to third. They both had to hold to see whether Joe Moore could come in and make the catch, which he couldn't. And now the bases loaded, nobody out. Last of the 6th inning, and Joe DiMaggio, Jolting Joe is up there, right-hand hitter, feet wide spread. He spread eagle right through the middle of batter's box. Gomez leading off third, Rossetti off second, Roth down off first. The defense is deep around toward left. Hub delivers. It's swung on. It's a base hit. In comes Gomez. Rossetti around third is heading for the plate. 2 runs are in, and runners are on first and second. Business has picked up here in this first game of the World Series in the last of the 6th inning with the bases full and nobody out and the Yankees behind 1-0. DiMaggio, who got the first hit for the Yankees, hit a whistling single to left center field and scored Gomez from third and Rossetti from second, sending Roth around to third, and when the throw in from center field came to third base, DiMaggio, running like a deer, made it on the throw in to second. So the Yankees go ahead 2-1. Nobody out and runners on second and third, and Bill Terry has walked out to the heart of the diamond to hold a personal confab with Hubble, Mancuso, and shortstop Bartell. Bill Terry, making his first public appearance in the series, comes out from under the shelter of the dugout to the pitcher's mound to talk it over. And just a moment, signals are being relayed to the bullpen. Hubble is to stay in. That's the decision. Gehrig is up, and he's to be given a deliberate base on ball. That's ball one. That's the strategy to Lou Gehrig. First base is open. Nobody out. The Yankees lead 2-1. And DiMaggio and Rolfe are on second and third respectively. Gehrig will soon be at first. And there is ball three. A deliberate walk being given to Lou Gehrig. Not because they like him, but because they don't want to pitch to him right now. There's ball four, and Gehrig is purposely put on first. Again, the bases are loaded with nobody out in the last of the sixth. Bill Dickey is up there. Bad Bill, as the Yankees call him right now. He'll be Sweet William if he delivers. The infield is pulled up on the base paths. The left-hand hitter is Dickey. Hubble pitching. Low outside for ball one. The Yankees have caught and passed the Giants, and they're threatening to do still more here in the last of the sixth of this first game. The Giant inner defense right up on the base paths. Bases jammed. Runners at all 3 points. Dickey waiting. Takes low for ball two. One just under the knees. Ball two. Two to one. The Yankees in this City Series. Hubble, one of the toughest spots of his life. It's a sweltering hot afternoon, cloudy, and Hutton has extra heat applied to him right now at the moment, aside from the weather. Waiting. He's ahead. 2-0 pitch. Swung on as a ground ball. The right hand knocks down but cannot recover. The bases remain full and a run scores. An infield single by Bill Dickey gets in. Rolfe from third base, and the Yankees go ahead. 3-1. The bases still are loaded, and yet no one is out in the last of the sixth. That was a ground ball, hit towards second. Whitehead dove on his chest, knocked it down, did not allow it to roll out of the infield, but could not make a play on it. And now it's Dickey off first, Gehrig off second, and DiMaggio off third. The batter is Poe, hitting right-handed. Nobody out. High inside. Ball one. Poe hitting right-handed. Hubble, great left-hander. In a great deal of trouble. 3-1 now. And the Yankees are pressing their advantage, riding hard. Poe in a crouch. Swings and misses. 1-1. Up broke a curve in just above his knees on the inside. Shoulders sagging. Now straightens them back. Arches his chest. Takes a deep breath. Poe rather nervous. Into a crouch. Takes inside. Ball two. The curve broke off. And it's 2-1. The Yankee siege guns are on the bases. DiMaggio at third. Gehrig at second. And Dickey at first. Nobody out. 3 runs in. This is the 7th hitter of the last of the sixth. Up comes down. There's a ground ball hit to third. The play is to the plate. 1 out, a force at home. That's the first out for the last of the sixth inning. Poe, who has scored as a fielder's choice, as there was no play at first base made for him, grounded just to the left of third baseman Melot, who made the pickup, then calmly threw to Gus Mancuso standing on home plate to force DiMaggio coming home. That's 1 out. The base is still full. The batter is Selkirk, the 8th Yankee, up here in the last of the sixth. Hitting left-handed, turned toward right field. Very, very strong and brawny and quite active. The infield on the left side, up on the bases, almost up to the base paths on the right. Swinging strike one. A curveball ball broke off the fingers and down on the inside. Selkirk went after it and didn't get it. Rubbed his hands together. Outfield deep, pulled around toward right. Shortstop Bartell and Ott right up on the baseline. Whitehead is back a step or so from the baseline. Inside under the chin for a shave and ball one. 1-1 to Selkirk. Here in this dynamite-laden last half of the sixth inning. From the Yankees, after having 14 of them go down in order. Spotted up Hubbell's walk to Gomez first up in the sixth with base hits. The pitch is a curve which is hit safely through the hole between first and second into right field. In comes Gehrig. Around third comes Dickey, heading for the plate and scores. 2 more runs come in. As Selkirk single drives in 2 runs to put the Yankees ahead 5-1 and sends Hogue around to third base. A single to right by Selkirk. Hits sharply through the hole between first and second. And the Yankees are going away. They're now in front 5-1. And Mancuso walks sadly out to the mound. Hubbell is finished. And back in the dark resources of the giant bullpen will come another of Terry's mound crew to assume a burden which apparently was left in the last game of the 1936 series. It seems as though we are right back beginning today where we left off last fall. A conference out there on the mound. Hubbell still standing around. Whitehead has come in from second. Bartell, Mancuso. Harry Gumbut, the tall young right-hander, is coming in to relieve Carl Hubbell. 8 of the Yankees faced Hubbell in the last of this sixth inning. 7 of them got safely on, and 5 of them have scored. Harry Gumbut, very tall, making that long walk. The bullpen for the Giants is hidden in the stands behind right center field. He has to make all that distance as he comes into the ball game. In other words, he gets pretty well acclimated before he ever gets to the mound.
Number 14, now pitching.
Gumbut first announced over the loudspeaker, and now Kaufman. And it is Dick as he steps to the mound. It's Dick Kaufman, the former American Leaguer. Before the relief pitcher came into sight, Gumbut was announced as replacing Hubbell. But after the pitcher came into sight, it was announced as Kaufman. Dick Kaufman, right-hander, who has been prominent as the Giants' #1 relief man the last couple of years. Kaufman throwing down to Mancuso. We've had so much fireworks lately while Kaufman's limbering up. Warren, how have you seen it?
Well, it seems a long time to go back that far, Red, but I'm still thinking about that play at second base when the ball got away from Dick Bartell after it seemed as though Mancuso had trapped him off, and it was amazing the way the Yankees leaped into action after that break, which was very definitely the break for which they've been waiting throughout this entire ball game. It's also interesting to me to note that when Gomez had his bad inning, which was the 5th, he managed to escape from there with 1 run. When it came time for the Yankees to tear after Hubbell, one thing or another, combined with their own powerful hitting, particularly those singles, which were hit with a great deal of authority, certainly ruined his afternoon for him very rapidly. There was one possible play in this inning, a play that Whitehead tried to make on the ball Bill Dickey hit down. It was a slow hit ball, and Whitey made a noble try for the ball, diving after it, but he was unable to get the ball and get it in time to make a play for anyone. It seems interesting to me, Red, at the present time that we've gone through an inning here with the Yankees making 5 runs, and so far there is no semblance of their patented home run. It's been almost in one of these big innings of the Yankees. It seems as though somebody walks up there and hits one out of the park. Isn't that your impression of the Yankee big inning?
Right you are, Warren. And there's also some big stuff brewing down there, which doesn't very often happen. That mistake about announcing Gumbert as the relief pitcher is causing a furor, and I guess you know the technicalities involved. Suppose you go ahead and explain it, Warren.
Well, after he becomes announced officially as the pitcher, he is definitely the pitcher until at least he throws one ball. And when Kaufman appeared on the mound, Art Fletcher, the Yankee coach, immediately went over and started complaining to the umpires about it, and the result was there was quite a conference. Now we have Gumbert back there.
Gumbert, number 10, now pitching for the Giants.
So that's the way that thing works out. I think that's the first time in World Series history that I've seen anything like that. Frequently in baseball games, we've seen a pinch hitter announced and go up to the plate. For example, a left-handed hitter going up to hit, and a pitching substitution is made, whereupon another announcement is made of a right-hand hitter, and the right-hand hitter takes his place at the bat without the left-hand hitter having been up there at all. But as far back as I can remember, this is the first time we've had a pitcher in the game without doing any more than warming up in the bullpen and walking all that long distance, and it certainly is a long distance from that giant bullpen in right field. So that now that law and order has been restored again, we really do have Harry Gumbert out there pitching, and I congratulate you, Red, on detecting that, even though Kaufman got in ahead of him.
Well, thanks a great deal, Warren. And I guess baseball is like life itself. You can never tell just exactly what's going to happen. First, Gumbert is announced, and then a correction. And apparently that's all there is to it. So most of the folks up here think that Kaufman's coming in to pitch. And then suddenly a technicality is involved. And it was involved around whether the public address announcer was officially informed that Gumbert would pitch. And evidently he was, because that being the case, Gumbert has to pitch. Had the announcer himself just on his own authority said Gumbert would pitch, that wouldn't have had any bearing. And now up there now is Lazari. But the throw goes over to first base as Gumbert officially goes to work. Harry Gumbert, the former Baltimore Oriole, throws again to first base. Here's the situation here in the last of the 6th. With one man out, Selkirk is at first, and Hogue is at third. The Yankees are riding out in front, 5-1. Up there at the plate in a crouch is the very stick. Gumbert delivers inside for ball 1. And now technically Gumbert is in the ball game. He's delivered one pitch to Tony Lazari. Outfield around toward left. The Yankees lead off first and third. A curve floating down in there for call strike 1. Lazari looking at it, takes it. Tony hit back to Hubble in the second inning and was promptly tossed out at first, and then Hub struck him out in the 5th. That was when Hub wound up his great sequence of 14 straight Yankee victories. And that was the last of that string. The Yankees put on a string of their own here in the last of the 6th. There's a slow ball hit through second base out to right center field. In from third comes Hogue. Around to third goes Selkirk. A change of pace was met with a half swing by Tony Lazari, who was trying to hit behind the runner, and he singled through the middle, right underneath Burgess Whitehead, who was running up on it. And in comes another run, and the Yankees are now +5, leading 6-1. And Gomez, who was first up in the last of the 6th, is now coming up for his second trip in the last of this inning, the 10th Yankee to bat, and just one man is out. A single right back through the middle by Lazari, which bats in still another Yankee run. And Gumbert, who had to come out and pitch to one man, now is taken out, and Kaufman comes in.
Kaufman, number 14, now pitching for the Giants.
And now at long last, as a fellow once said, Kaufman is in the ball game. Dick Kaufman comes into the ball game, and as he comes in, The Yankees are ahead 6-1. Gumbert pitched to one batter, Lazari, who singled and knocked in the Yankees' 6th run. Up now is Gomez, who was first up in the last of the 6th, then drew a walk. The fateful pass. Gomez hitting left-handed. Dick Kaufman, tall, rugged right-hander. Off first is Lazari. Off third, Selkirk. Gomez says Kaufman's taking a little too much time, so he stepped back out of the box. Hornsby, of course, calls time. The outfield a little toward left. Swinging, strike one. Kaufman came down with a slant just above the knees on the inside. Gomez chokes that bat just about an inch. Pumps it back and forth. Shot infield, pulled right up on the base paths. Low inside for ball one, right across the shins. 1-1. Fletcher jumping up and down, back of third. He's very, very elated. Looks as though he's filled with the elixir of life. The pitch is low. And it's ball two. 2-1. 6-1 in favor of the Yankees. 6 runs in the last of the 6th. And apparently, that isn't all. Gomez in the crouch, takes low, and it's ball 3. 3-1. Hoffman punishing a big chew of tobacco. Sets the point of his jaw out there, very belligerently. Now walks around back of the mound, kicks a little dirt, pulls the peak of his cap down snugly over his eyes. Spits into the black loam topsoil of the Yankee Stadium. Looks toward first, toward third, now delivers 3-1. Low for ball 4. Twice Gomez has walked here in the last of the 6th inning. And this reloads the bases. Still just 1 out. Gomez, twice up here in the last of the 6th, is both times given an Annie Oakley to first base. This pushes Lazari down to second, and Selkirk down to third. Selkirk already at third. Bases full, 1 out. The batter is Frank Rossetti, who singled sharply once in this 6th already, up for his 2nd time. Takes way outside, ball 1. Little shortstopper of the Yankees, choking that war club, standing right off the plate, easily balanced. Bases just as full as a tenement house in a busy district. Kaufman right hands it down, and it's swung on and foul tipped back. 1-1. Gomez at first, Lazari at second, Selkirk at third. Mancuso goes out to talk to Kaufman. Infield lazily passing the ball around between themselves. This has been a severe jolt to the Giants, this last of the 6th inning. And the Yankees are still the Yankees, running absolutely according to form in the dope sheet. No variations at all. Kaufman comes down, Cruzetti swings. It's a fly ball into short left field. Up comes Joe Moore on the dead run. Andrit makes the catch, and the runners are forced to hold where they are. The throw-in is cut off 2/3 of the way toward the plate by third baseman Mel Lott. That's out number 2 here in the last of the 6th inning. Red Ralph, hitting left-handed, steps up. 2 men gone here in the last of the 6th. Bases full. Kaufman drying off the fingers of his right hand. Ralph pulls a black cap down snug around his ears. Pumps that stick back and forth. Outfield a little toward right. Pitches outside, a change of pace. Ball 1. Ralph, all set. Easily balanced. He has 1 for 3 this afternoon. Takes low inside. Ball 2. It was Kaufman's fastball. His sights were not quite high enough. This vast throng, many, many thousands here at Yankee Stadium. Wildly hilarious. that even a foul ball through the first 5.5 innings has sort of settled back. Either completely filled to a point of satiation with happiness or else completely crushed. Low inside for ball 3. And with the bases loaded, Kaufman is behind to Red Roth. He hasn't hit his target once. Three and 0. He misses once more, walks in a run. There's a strike. Just on the knees on the inside. 3-1. Roth stepping back out of the box, steps in again. And Mancuso down on his crouch, calls for it. Runners don't lead down very far. Now they start streaking off. Gomez isn't cutting up down at first. He's conserving his energies. The pitch. Outside for ball 4 on a walk to Ralph with the bases full. And in comes another Yankee run. Ralph is credited with batting in that run. 7-1 in favor of the Yankees. 6 runs to a good. Selkirk scored on that play. Zary moving down to third and Gomez to second. Up now is Joe DiMaggio, swings. It's a high fly ball deep out into center field. Lieber goes back and pulls it down. Well, that's all for the first 6 innings, and it looks like it might be all for the afternoon. However, a ball game is never over until the last man is out. But first, before anything else is said by Warren Brown, we pause for station identification.
Back at the Yankee Stadium, and this ball game coming to you through the National Broadcasting Company and its associated stations has certainly provided a big inning, finally, after we remained around here for upwards of 5.5 innings watching quite a pitching duel between Lefty Gomez and Carl Hubble. The Yankees certainly caught up with Hubble in that last inning when they secured 6 runs and 7 hits. Not all of them, of course, off of Hubble, for he was gone, and during the balance of the inning, we had 2 giant pitchers in there. Harry Gumbert, who seemed to come in because of a mistake in identity on his way from the bullpen, and Dick Kaufman, who finished up for the game. There were a few bases on balls crowded into that inning, and certainly 1 break which went against Hubble at the time he was in there. However, full credit must go to the Yankees for the ability with which they leaped to the attack once they had an opening, and it was the first opening in the game that Hubble had given them. All right, Red.
Lefty Gomez is ready now to start the 7th, pitching to Jimmy Ripple. He does strike 1 call. Sharp breaking curve just above the knees. Ripple has 1 for 2 this afternoon. He started off what looked to be the Giants' big inning of the 5th with a single. Takes low outside, and it's 1-1. Gomez has never lost a World Series ball game. And it looks as though he'll still be able to camp on that record for another few hours. 7-1 in favor of the Yankees. Ripple swinging, foul tips it back. Right 2, 1-2. First Giant up in the 7th. Yankees ahead 7-1. After Ripple, McCarthy, then Mancuso. Infield straight away. Up a step on the left side. Full depth on the right. Outfield a couple of steps toward right on Jimmy. Full hitter. Who swings. There's a fly ball going out into left. Holt coming up fast. Takes it on the run. It's all for Ripple. 1 up, 1 gone to 7th. Batters McCarthy. He has 1 for 2. He singled through Lazari in the 5th inning to send Ripple around to third base. Jimmy later coming in on Mancuso's double play ball. The only run the Giants have. McCarthy, a rookie, takes strike 1 call. This has been his rookie year in the big leagues. And at the end of his first year in the majors, here he is in the World Series, and he has 1 for 2 at the moment, up for his 3rd time. Swings and misses at a curve, strike 2. Missed that one off the end of his bat. They're playing McCarthy just as they did Ripple as far as the outfield is concerned, toward right, left side of the infield the same, and Lazari is a step or so more down toward first. High inside, on the chest for ball 1. 1-2. McCarthy, very slender. Big Bill Dickey sets his mitt. The ball is bounced easily back to the mound. Gomez traps it, throws over to first. That's all for young John. Getting back to the box. 2 up, 2 gone, top of the 7th. Hitter is Gus Mancuso. Sends back out of batter's box. Takes the meat end of his stick. Knocks the dirt out from his spikes. Now stepping in, close over against the catcher. Fences straight away. Strike 1 called. The little hook was snapped in just above the knees on the inside. Right-hand hitter. Gomez, elongated, slender left-hander. Delivers. Fastball inside. 1-1. Gomez draws up his knees almost under his chin. Flails those arms around in back of him. Ties himself up into such a knot you wonder how in the world he ever gets out of it. Delivers. Inside. 0-2. 2-1. Lefty pitching just as he has all the afternoon. Taking the sign, then going right to work. Takes time out for a blow right now. Looks into the dirt as though he were reading a letter from home. Straightens up, blows again. And this time, it's Mancuso who backs away and said, well, have the blows on me this time. Gus steps in. Double swinging stretch. Gomez delivers. Mancuso hits it high out into short center field. DiMaggio comes running under it and takes it. And it's nothing across for the Giants in the top of the 7th. And more observations from Warren.
To get almost any ball club down for the time being. Naturally, with Gomez being as effective as he has been throughout his American League season and throughout this ball game, with the exception of the 5th inning, it was hardly likely that the Giants were going to cut loose and have any big inning off of him any more than it was that the Yankees were going to have one off of Carl Hubble. But that, to me, is one of the reasons why there are probably more than 60,000 people here looking at this baseball game. One never knows what is going to happen in a ball game. At the very minute that Hubble walked Gomez, who was the pitcher, no one suspected that he was due for the trouble that happened. And so, Red, looks like they're ready to start again, maybe on Kaufman this time.
Dick Kaufman ready to pitch to Lou Gehrig, and does so, calls strike 1, buzzing it down just above the knees on the outside. Gehrig has 0 for 2 official trips. The only time he got on was in the 6th with a deliberate walk. Later came around to be scored. Outfield very deep, round toward right. Columbia Lou, tremendous favorite here, sets, gets back from one inside up against him, tight for ball 1.